obstructive pulmonary disease. So COPD causes irreversible progressive damage to the lungs, and some common symptoms include fatigue and breathlessness. So we have this chart right here, which is a study in the U.S., and most of the people are either current smokers or former smokers, and the majority of people with COPD are Caucasian.
So we interviewed Judy. She is a 75-year-old woman. She lives in a condo in a suburb of Chicago. Her husband passed away a few years ago, but she still has a son that lives nearby and then a daughter that lives out in Colorado. She attributes her diagnosis to the fact that she was smoking since she was 14. She started noticing breathlessness at around age 55 though, so at that point in her life she did begin to stop smoking. And then although her disease has progressed, over the last 10 years, she has kept it under control through different medications that she's taken, using her inhaler, nebulizer, exercise, and eating healthier. She is thankful that since it has not progressed too badly, she does not need to be on oxygen like some of her friends that also have COPD. She has not let this diagnosis and its complications keep her from continuing to work at her 2 jobs that she had prior to the diagnosis. The things that she has had to adjust though is how she works out, because she no longer can run or bowl, which is another way she uses her physical activity. Now instead she uses her Fitbit and tries to get about 5,000 steps in per day, as well as she'll sit and lift 3-pound weights. So other changes include no longer being able to travel to her daughter in Colorado due to the high altitude out there, that it just is too hard on her breathing now. As well as now she goes to doctor's appointments every couple months, as well as taking medication every day and learning to accept help from her son with taking her to those and reminding her of the different medications as well. Her roles have remained consistent as a mother, friend, and employee over these past 10 years. Her hobbies still include her favorite leisure activities, although she has had to adjust some of them, as like the bowling that I had mentioned. As well as her routine, she said it's remained pretty consistent with waking up, getting ready, going to work, and then coming home to do her leisure activities that she likes and relaxing. But everything is just taking more time for her as she needs time to sit down and rest while getting ready and during her other activities at night. For example, she said that she's really noticed it with cleaning, that she used to perform all of her cleaning tasks like one day during the week and focus on one day, but now she's broken up over 2 days so that way she can sit down and rest in between. And then we have this chart down here at the bottom, and it talks about, and this kind of draws out the rest of our presentation and what COPD affects, which is social issues, physical issues, psychological and economic issues in your everyday life.
And then in our research, we kind of saw that individuals with COPD have more of a difficult time with their routine. One man even said, "I will be angry until I die because I died in 2005. I was a healthy, active man, a little man but strong. Now I can't even get out of bed and go." So this just shows how dependent he was and how he needed help with his daily occupations. Other people said that they were unable to do their leisure occupations such as walking and hiking. And then there's even some difficulties in performing certain ADLs. The one we found most interesting was actually showering. Some people had to take like 45-minute showers because they had to stop constantly to take their inhaler.
So these changes in occupations can really change people's attitudes on life. When Judy was first diagnosed, she was scared that it was fatal, that she was going to die, but then when she learned that she could just adjust her routine and with medication and different exercises, has been able to resume her mostly normal life. She became very hopeful. This didn't really affect her spirituality, and she doesn't want to let her diagnosis take away from her life. However, in our other research, people were very pessimistic and felt like their life was already over, and they weren't able to do the things that they loved to do anymore, and they did not like the dependence they had on other people, which has really negatively impacted their psychology and could lead to depression and suicidality.
And then another area we saw impacted was the environment. So basically, when it's cold out in the winter, that can lead to coughing, which then could lead to breathlessness. And then on the flip side, in the summer, if it's really humid and muggy, then that's also really hard to breathe. So people with COPD can be affected by that. And they just kind of have to be more aware of their environment, such as air pollution and altitude.
Another 1 minute warning until they get to ask some questions.
Okay, another thing we recognized throughout the literature was the experience of people having to become more dependent on those around them, like Judy with her son. A quote that we found in the literature from one man in the study was, "My son came with me when I needed to go to the emergency room because of an acute exasperation. The daily routine of my son's family was disrupted, and I don't want to be a burden to my son and daughter in terms of medical costs or care." And this is just a common theme throughout, that people were very worried about burdening those in their family, and it kind of made them feel guilty that they were putting this extra pressure on their family and loved ones.
So as far as stigma and marginalization, in America, COPD is mostly an invisible disability unless you're on oxygen. However, in other countries, the other symptoms like all the coughing and stuff that can come with it can be more associated with things like tuberculosis study that we looked at was done in Africa, and people were super scared of getting sick from them, so they were socially ostracized, and they couldn't work not only because they were tired around them, didn't want to be around them, and this had a very negative impact on their emotional and psychological well-being as well.
So do you guys have any questions then?
But family resident healthcare providers.
I was just wondering, like, how you found Judy.
So Judy, actually, she lives in a condo with my grandma, and she works in like the main office there, so I met her a couple times just from visiting my grandma, and then I talked to her as well about, I contacted my grandma first to see if Judy would be comfortable talking to me, so then we ended up having a phone call with her to talk about all this.
And then what did you guys find the most interesting in your research?
I gotta mention it, but definitely like the showering I thought was really interesting. It was definitely not an area that I thought could be impacted by COPD. So just like the fact that people have to stop and like use their inhaler multiple times a day, and you know, like if people have asthma, maybe they wouldn't have to use it in the shower, but COPD is, yeah, it's very, very hard in the lungs. And even eating too, they said, because obviously, you know, your mouth, it can get air in through there, and that was also hard too, because then like they couldn't kind of breathe in through like their nose and their mouth, so that was interesting to me.
Yeah, I also liked looking at different countries' perspectives and what that was like, because like in Africa, it was very common for people to think like they were cursed or witchcraft, and that they just were like witching, so people avoid them because of that, because they have some curse that they don't want to get.
And then same for me as well, like that was definitely very interesting, just kind of see the different perspectives. I think what we all had like in mind, that's not what you would think of, is like, you don't think of it as contagious just from what we have learned, and also from like the research we had done about it in advance. We had found so much with like frustration with the situation that when I went to go interview Judy, I was very surprised by her attitude that she had taken towards it, and she was just so positive, like, why would I let that get in my way? Like, I'm still able to live my life, like I want to live as long as I can and be able to do everything I enjoy, like hanging out with my friends. So she's like, it was crazy of me to be negative at first. So and when we asked about her spirituality, she's like, why would I question that? Like, I just pray that like I won't have to be on oxygen, I can keep living and doing everything that I love. So I thought that was really interesting.
Had she had any experiences with therapy that she talked about or you asked about?
She said she didn't want to talk about going to doctors for checkup, that she wasn't going to any therapy or anything, at least yet.
Only because so many of the things you guys are mentioning, like, OTs have a solution for that. OTs have a solution for that. Like, what? She can bowl. I can think of,
Adaptive like ways to, that's something to mention to her, honestly, though, to see if, well, depending on how interested she is. Next time I visit my grandma.
Did she also bring up being involved, and I think we saw with Jan that being involved or meeting other people with the condition can be a good way to learn adaptations or learn, did she
She
talk
was
about
saying
that at all?
at the condo, so she has friends that have COPD, just since it is an older living community, there are a lot of other people that suffer from COPD or other conditions similar to that. So she does, she actually feels more lucky because of that, because she's seen so many people with oxygen that she realized that with the condition, she's blessed that she doesn't have all those same complications that they have yet.
All right. Good job, guys.
Thank you.